zealous for the Lord, the God of hosts. 1 Kings chapter 19 verse 14. This is the response of Elijah, who is representing the prophets and the restoration of all things during his encounter with the Lord at Mount Carmel in Palestine. This is inscribed on the emblem of the Carmelites, including the Cmi congregation belonging to the Syro-Malabar Church, which was founded on the hillock of Mananam, Kerala, India in 1831. The symbols carved on the Cmi emblem give a clear picture of its charism, tradition and spirituality. The escutcheon or shield of Carmel itself denotes the defense of our church and our faith. It speaks of a spiritual struggle which needs the shield of faith and other strategies to outflank the forces of darkness. The mountain inside the shield signifies Mount Carmel in Palestine, where the first Carmelites lived. Mount Carmel has its presence in the Bible in Isaiah chapter 35 verse 2, Song of Songs chapter 7 verse 5 and Nahum chapter 1 verse 4. It was the home of Elijah the prophet. It was seen as a symbol of God's abundance, an image of beauty and of generosity of God's grace. It was a place apart, an oasis in the desert, a place of living waters where the seeker after God could drink from the well of life. The mountain also brings before us the spirit of prayer and contemplation, a creative source that would constantly help to renew the Carmelite tradition. The silver or white single star in the emblem indicates the affinity of the congregation with Blessed Virgin Mary, the star of the sea, and her contemplative spirit. This would point to the Marian character of the Cmi congregation. The Carmelite story includes two figures from the story of salvation who are powerful symbols for Carmelites, Elijah and Mary. Above the single star, a cross is depicted just above the letters CMI. The cross represents the redemptive love of Christ, which compels the CMIs for going out with the cross to a world in need of his transforming love. The crown and the stars also symbolize Mary Immaculate, familiar to the book of Revelations, chapter 12, verse 1. Prayer is symbolized by the crown and calls to mind CMI's relationship to God through the intercession of Elijah, who is in communion with God. 1 Kings chapter 18 verses 41 to 46, and Blessed Virgin Mary, Queen of Carmel, who is contemplative in heart. Luke chapter 2 verse 19. Over Mary's crown is the flaming torch of Elijah, signifying his vigorous zeal for the Lord. Sirach chapter 48 verse 1. To light one's soul on fire with zeal and to go into the world with the cross of Christ are the duties of CMIs, putting their whole life and talents at the service of the greater good of humanity. The banner that twirls around the flaming torch contains the words of Prophet Elijah in Syriac, Methen tennes lumaria alaha hailsana. It is this zeal that enables each and every member of the congregation to be active contemplatives. This zeal is the result of the conscious effort made to experience the presence of God in everything and everywhere. Thus, they try to die to themselves, as we see in Galatians chapter 2, verse 20. It is no longer I who live, but it is Christ who lives in me. And they bear Christ, as Saint John the Baptist says, He must increase, I must decrease. John chapter 3 verse 30. Just as the emblem shows, the Cmi congregation has its Carmelite links to the mountain slopes of Carmel, where the monks who came to be called Carmelites established a tradition of rich spirituality. This spirituality is a blend of the zeal of Elijah and the contemplation of Virgin Mary. It is this contemplation and zeal that enable a Carmelite to to burn himself and his activities and thereby purify them into divine ones as fire purifies gold in a life process. Thus, the CMIs have the call to be active contemplatives among the people through contemplation in every action, the trademark of CMI apostolate and activities which makes them different from others. It is a life of close allegiance to Christ through a commitment, the deepest living of the gospel through community and through service in the midst of the people.